Crafters, this is Collette. Today I'm working with this 3D die cut block from Studio Light. It's one of the items I bought from that gorgeous little Etsy store I talked to you about on my last video. Now I've put the link in the description down below just in case you want to go ahead and get this as well. Now I think these blocks are really fantastic value and super quick and easy to make really beautiful cards. From this one little block I can create 12 cards. So turning over to the very first page, what we have on each page is we have in the top right hand corner a picture of what the finished card will look like, and then here we have lots of die cut elements that we will use to build up and make this particular card. As I said, there are 12 totally different designs, so this is the next one, and here are all the different elements used to make this card up. On the back of this, again, you've got a picture of all the different 12 cards that can be made from this one little pack. So I'm going to go ahead and make these, and then with one of them I'm going to slow down the video and you can see exactly what I've done. Okay, so this is the last of my sheets from that particular block, and this is the card I'm going to make with you. So what I'm going to do now is show you how I'm going to put this together, and hopefully you'll pick up a few tips as I go along. So the first thing here, I have a lovely deep spongy mat, and I'm going to flip that over onto my mat, and I've just got a really large ball tool here that I'm going to keep rubbing into some soap. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go along the back here, and these will just pop out exactly as I want them. The other great thing is, as well as popping out, they kind of are shaped as well. So I'm doing two activities in one. So whizzing through this. And when you feel your tool begins to drag a bit on the paper, back into the soap and continue to pop them out. This way you're not going to get any tearing or accidents as you progress. Okay, so that's all the pieces that I need for my card popped out. Now on the front, you'll see at the bottom we've got all these other gorgeous little die cut elements. We've got a gorgeous cat, butterflies, bows, bottles, hearts, etc. They're bonus. So you could actually create other things, or you could go ahead and embellish your card with more of these if you want to. So if you just take a look, this is all the stuff I've got left over from the block to create more cards or paper crafting projects with. So I love that. Okay, so I don't need this anymore, so that's going to go away. So the first thing I do is I grab a picture of my finished card, which is this one, and I'm going to keep that in front of me so I can see exactly what's happening. Just zoom this in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. Alright, so the first thing I have to do, this is a square card, so I need to get a standard square card, which I've got here, and I'm just going to now stick this front piece onto it. But first I need to just check the edges. Are there any little nodules? If there are, a couple of things you can do. You can get a sanding box and just whiz down with a sanding block, and that gets rid of those little nodules. Or you can wet your finger and rub your finger along, and that also works. I like to wet my finger on that on the smaller bits because sometimes the corners and curves are just a little bit tricky. So I'm just going to now stick this one down onto my card. Now check with your original, making sure you've got it in the right direction, and obviously making sure our card opens up correctly. I went a bit haywire with my adhesive there, so I'm just tucking that behind. Now this card base is just a bit bigger than what I would normally like, So that's okay. What I've done is I've pulled it up to this corner up here, and then I'm just going to chop away that excess with my paper trimmer. So I have the same amount of white space all the way around that patterned base. Okay, so that's my first layer on my card base done. So looking at this, you need to decide what the next layer is. So I'm going to go for the books here. And again, just licking my finger, getting rid of those nodules very quickly. And then I'm going to pop that down. Now I'm going to pop that down with some pop dots. And you'll get all sorts of these pop dots or foam squares on the market. Be aware that they come in different heights. So this is a 1mm and this is a 2mm. These are the ones that I like to use a lot. So on the base one, I'm going to put down some 2mm. And what you'll notice is that I'm not going to go mad and use tons and tons of these, because if you do, it becomes quite rigid in its structure. And I like the fact that with that initial rubbing, we've got a slight curve on this, and that's going to add more interest to that card. So peeling these guys off. Now, and I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the back. You've seen me do this many times. So this just means I can slip and slide it into place without those foam squares grabbing initially where I place it. Now, I've just noticed that this isn't the next layer. I've been a bit adventurous here. This is the next layer. So away with this. This goes down next. So I'm going to put that down on number 1s. So you can mix and match your number 1s, your number 2s, so the different heights. So you can see I don't put them all over. 4 is going to be plenty on this one. If you don't have nails to get this stuff off, what you can do, I'm just looking for my tools here, my wiggly do. This is one here is fine. Get a sharp pin, just poke it in there, and you can just eventually pick that up, and a lot of people will do that. You can also use tweezers. So on with this. Okay. And now this goes at a slight angle, so I'm just looking to see roughly where that goes. So it's about like that. And what you can do is you can match up bits on the pattern with these bits here to make sure you get them exactly as you want. Alright, and then this little guy is now going to go down in place too. So that looks pretty good to me. Doesn't it look gorgeous already? Alright, so the next thing we've got up in this corner here, I think I'll focus up in this corner here. So I can see that the first thing is this beautiful little green ribbon. So I'm going to put that down flat. And it doesn't matter if you use number 1 dots, you kind of go with what you want. But remember, you've got layers happening. So that's just going to go down like that, and it does hit the corner just above. That looks about right to me. The next thing we want is the heart, and that heart I'm going to put down on a number 1, and I'm simply going to put 1 in the middle. That's all it needs. It doesn't need to be covered with any more. And I'm going to position this little heart. That's going to come down here just above that gorgeous flower. Beautiful. And then we have a lovely little green button that's already shaped. You probably won't be able to see how nice and curved that is. That was done with that initial rubbing. So just licking my finger and getting rid of those little dots. And again, this one I'm going to do a number 1. Now, these are big squares, and what I do with my big squares is I go along and I'll just chop those in half like that, down one edge, and they become little squares. So I've got this little one here, which I probably need to make it even smaller, so that will come off, and I'll pop that back onto my green mat there so I can grab that the next time I need a tiny little piece. That will come off, and my little button will go on. Now the reason why you don't want to use so many number 2s, the deeper ones, is because it will become too lumpy bumpy and then it will cost you more in the post, which is never a good thing. So this is my next one in the little corner, again licking the edges, and I'm going to put this one on a number 1 because I've noticed there's a flower that is in front of it, so I'm going to put that flower on a number 2. So the number 1 foam is with this one, and that goes here in the corner, so pretty. And this is one here which I've decided to put on as a number 2. Only need a little piece. Okay, now sometimes you need to think about how you are actually positioning your tape. So you can see I put this tape over on this side, and the reason why I've done that is that I know when I pop this down on my card, it's going to sit just slightly higher, but if I put a number 2 over here, it would be all lopsided because that's already high. So that looks great. And our last little button, which I'm just going to pop down with a number 1. That just sits just here like that. That looks good. Heart's done. Oh, there's a little key. There's a little key here. Now, that is going to just be a little number 1, I think. I don't want that too lumpy bumpy. So I'm just going to take a bit of the number 1 and pop that down. Okay. Voila! That's that card finished. You see how lovely and lumpy bumpy it is? Really pretty cards. And if you want, you can give that a misting with shimmer spray. Now, one of the other things you can do is you can actually take these to the next level. So you might have real buttons, and you could put a real button down on there. You might have a little bit of flowy lace, you could add that onto it. So if you want to take these up a notch, you certainly can. But I love these blocks because I think they're great to do lots and lots of quick cards that look really awesome. So I would be thrilled to receive a card like that. Now, I've actually, as I said, put the link to this little Etsy store that I got this set from, and there are other sets. There's like a great cool industrial set, there's a beautiful beachy set, so you can create these blocks and create a whole range of cards. What a lovely way to actually give a collection of cards for your favourite charity to auction. So you can have a look at those, and I have got the link on the description just below, which will take you directly to where I bought these, as I've said. One of the other things I also got, I got some of their beautiful sea papers, and I also do scrapbooking too, so I just thought I'd share this one with you. So this is the lovely page that I've just done. One of my friend's daughters, she's absolutely gorgeous, and I've used some corrugated, a bit of mixed media stuff going on here, a bit of netting, and just created a beautiful page with her on it. So again, lots and lots of gorgeous papers that you can find from that same Etsy store, which I have grown to like very much, and I might just need to do another top-up order myself. So I believe Christmas has just been launched. I haven't seen it yet, but I can imagine it's going to be gorgeous. So I might get tempted, and I might have to pop on before you guys do, just to make sure there's some left. So there you go. Those are the beautiful romantic blocks. The one I used today in the video was the Romantic Vintage. As I said, there are different blocks that you can get. I hope you've enjoyed my video tutorial. If you want to, you can follow me on my Facebook page, and you can get all my crafty tips and ideas from that. The Facebook page site is just below here as well in the description, so you can click on that and join and follow me in my crafty endeavours. Thanks for that. Until next time, bye for now.